afternoon, good evening. Welcome to another episode of Sol y Punto. My name is Nicole and I'm coming to you from the south of Spain, from Granada. We are up on the hill behind the Alhambra and I'm here to talk about knitting festivals, finished objects, dyed objects, works in progress that are in punishment. They are, what do we say in English? That they are on hold right now. What do we call it? Están castigado. They're punished. Today is the 31st of October. It is a gorgeous autumnal day. And yeah, I wanted to come up the hill and tell you some things about what I've been doing, share about a knitting festival that I went to that was beautiful, and show you some awesome projects that you might want to knit as well. So let's get right to it. I am wearing this gorgeous shawl. I know the colors, I'm not big on like neon speckles, but this yarn is very special. So this is the Nettle Shawl by my dear Marianela Gallo. Do you see those short rows? Do you see how like this side is wider than over here? Like you go like knitting because it represents the flowing seeds that blow in the wind of the nettle. Oh my gosh, I know. This yarn, the pink, is over dyed with cochineal, the natural dye. I do natural dyeing. Yes, and the Nettle Shawl, if this is the first time you're here, welcome. You might know that, if it's not the first time, you might know that I am a plant lover. I love herbalism, natural dyes, everything about the plant world. And normally at the end of each episode, I talk about an herb or a plant or something, both medicinally or the way we can work with it as a dye or just enjoy its presence. And nettle was actually the first plant that I talked about on my first episode. So if you haven't seen that, you can go back and watch that from years ago. But here are like represents like the spikes of the nettles, because nettle can sting you. It's called stinging nettle. But actually those little needle-like things that sting you are actually sometimes used as medicine. Like people use them if they have like arthritis or pains in their joints. Like you can use it to activate the blood and to make things move. And I haven't had to use it myself, but I've heard it works wonders. So they also do like bee sting therapy. Have you heard of that? Anyway, so all of Marianela's shawls, if you don't know her, are really fun because they're always inspired on something, a place, a plant. She had a whole collection about plants. Now she's doing all about Andalusia, where I live, so like all of the different cities in this part of Spain. Very cool because you learn about like the history, the different things. So you learned about nettles, and each section like represented a different aspect of the plant. So I highly recommend because they're really fun and you go like changing as you're knitting. I'm a little bit embarrassed because as today's a Friday, it's a gorgeous day. There are so many people up in the mountains just walking their dog, just hanging out, and I'm just here talking to my phone. But I mean, I'm kind of in like a hidden place, but I am right near the Alhambra. I could have gone further up the mountain, but I like this olive tree because it is a great little tripod for my camera. Anyway, so I believe that at one point I will over dye this shawl. I was gonna do it the other day, but I was like, no, because the speckly yarn is really special, and like all this yarn came from a very special person, and I don't want to over dye it yet. But when I do, it'll be fine because all of these colors will be on the inside. And it's just kind of fun. I wore it to the knitting festival the other day. Like I feel like if I go to a knitting festival, I want to have these bright colors. But in my day-to-day, I like more natural dyed colors. Yes, so and this was over dyed with cochineal, and the yarn actually comes from England, from a dyer called Siobhan Crafts. I don't know how to pronounce that name. I think it's an Irish name. And she dyes lots of like bright, speckly, fun yarn. So I will leave her information down below so that you can check her out because she is very cool. So that is my nettle shawl, and it's very soft and I love it. I'm also, speaking of England, I'm wearing this top was designed by my friend Kat Weaver. It is the Gala, I'm just lifting it up because I can show you the bottom part. It is the top Cala Galdana, I think it's called. And it's a great summer top, but I wear it like layered over things also in the autumn and the winter. You can wear your knits, your summer knits on top of your dresses and things in the winter as well. And this is the Gloam cardigan, which actually the designer, Kat Weaver, knit. And we did an exchange at one point and she gave it to me. And I get so much use out of this little cardigan. It's just this like cropped little open oversized cardigan, but I wear it all the time. And I was kind of bored with the color because it was like a cream with like little speckles. And I was like, I'm gonna put that in the dye pot. And so I did. I put it in the dye pot with cochineal, and this is what I got. It's so fun. It's like grape purple, but this is also cochineal. So like, why is this like this and this like this? The pH, I think that, or maybe the quantity that I use, but the cochineal is very sensitive to pH, and because this yarn had previously been dyed, acid dye, but actually this also had previously been dyed. I don't know. Maybe this was just like dirtier or something. I don't know, because I had been wearing it for years before I dyed it. I don't know why it turned this color and this one turned that color. That's why natural dyes are so fun. It might be just the type of yarn. I think that this yarn was like maybe a Polwarth blend or a merino blend, and this I don't know because it was knit and I received it. So the magic of the natural dye pots, super fun. I have some more cochineal here because this is my pink era. This year has been my pink era. I've never been a big fan of pink, but this year it started off with my Advent shawl. This is the Advent shawl from Antonio of last year of Beagle Knits from our project of Save the Sheep. This is our sheep Sopravissana, and the name of the pattern is Corso. It's like a modular shawl. This was our Advent mystery knit along. So it was super fun because every day we knit a little piece. We didn't know where we were going with it. Love Antonio's designs. And because it was the Advent mystery knit along, there are videos for every segment of this shawl. Isn't that cool? And the videos are in English, Spanish, Italian. It's like super trilingual. And this was dyed with cochineal. This is from the Sopravissana sheep, which is, it's like, I love it. I think it's definitely rustic. It's like a sport weight yarn that we had, but I love it. I think it's getting softer with use. I think it's so warm, but I actually used it when we did the Camino de Santiago this summer with the knitters. If you don't know about cami knitting, if you like walking and you want to walk with knitters, Antonio organizes trips to the north of Spain to walk and to eat and to laugh and to knit. So get in touch with him or with me and I can direct you to him for the Camino. Anyway, I brought my shawl because I always like to bring some woolly, scratchy, rusticy, either a sweater or a shawl or something with me, and it has to be colorful because it's summer. But because Alhambra's beeping, I don't know if you hear that. They're like, we are closing, it is lunchtime. Yes, but I always like to bring a shawl because in the mornings it is chilly in the north of Spain. We start walking very early and it could like mist rain. We didn't get any rain this summer, but if it does, it's always nice to have a little shawl with you to hug around and to cover you up, because wool is like the best water repellent and umbrella there is. And yeah, so this is the Sopravissana sheep from our 5th edition of Save the Sheep. It comes from a little family farm in Italy run by our dear friend Julia and her family. And she actually had a really difficult year this year. I'm not sure what it was called, but her sheep had like blue tongue or something. And so last summer, I guess it was this summer, they like lost a lot of sheep and stuff. So, and then they had like family issues. So we have to support Julia. Reach out to her. She's amazing. Her farm is called Fattoria La Roca, and they're just wonderful people. Her children are adorable. I met them when we went to Valle de Aosta for our Save the Sheep event there a couple of years ago, and so we wanted to work with them. So we have the Sopravissana yarn. We actually still have 11 or so kits to knit this shawl, or probably to knit a lot of the other Save the Sheep designs if you're interested in one of those more than this one, although I love this one. So we have a lot of this yarn. Maybe half of it is dyed, the other half is undyed, and you can always over dye things with natural dyes. So if anyone is interested, please let me know, because if not, I'm gonna knit it myself. But I have a lot of things to knit. I have a lot of things on the needles. I don't need to break into the Save the Sheep yarn. So if anyone wants any of this gorgeous yarn, it's about, I think I said it's a sport weight, and it's really nice. And it's naturally dyed and can be dyed to any color that you want. I can try. Can't make any promises because the dye pot surprises. Cochineal. Why? Why did one come out different than the other? We don't know, and that's the mystery, and we love that. I love all the colors that come out. Did I say in English? Because this is a bilingual podcast. If you want to listen to the episode in Spanish, you can go over to the other video. Did I say in English that this was dyed with Vitex, Agnus Castus, with the leaves of Vitex? I love this like vital green, yellowy color. But yeah, so this is the Sopravissana shawl. Love it. We are doing the 6th edition of Save the Sheep, and we're so excited. That one is basically sold out. I think we have one kit left. I probably, when you watch this, we won't even have one kit left. But I'm really excited about that one too, because we're going to be knitting all that stuff this December. We do like kits that go along with mystery knit-alongs that are designed by Antonio. And in the month of December, we knit from the 1st until like the 20th, every day, a little piece of the pattern. And if you keep up, which you don't have to, if you keep up, you will have a shawl like before Christmas Eve, which is great. Give you a few days for blocking. And if you don't keep up, you can finish it whenever you want and during the holiday season or whatever. And yeah, it's really nice. And it's really fun because we do knit nights, and we have people who join us in these events, editions, from Italy, from Spain, from New York, from Australia, from all over. So if you want to join us, stay tuned. Follow us on Save the Sheep for the next one, or if you want our yarn from the previous advent, definitely available for you. And that's it. Okay, well, that's not it. We've got plenty more to see, but I'll be right back. Okay, so now I wanted to talk to you all standing because I was sitting for the Spanish segment and the English segment, and I needed to move my legs. So I wanted to show you what is in my project bag. I love this little project bag with my Camino de Santiago pin. Join us this year. This year Antonio's doing Camino de Santiago in May and in August, so if you're interested. It's really fun. Anyway. Oh my god. All right. Oh, I have the pattern here. Wow. I was going to say I don't know the name. So, this shawl is absolutely gorgeous. It is by Lila Mary Knits. And the name is Finial Shawl. Finial Shawl. And it is brioche. It's like double brioche cables, which, by the way, let me just show you while I have the bag up here. The bag has like this little loop thing here, and I am using these two beautiful ThymeWeaver stitch markers. If you want some of these clip-on ones, I haven't made these in a long time. I don't know if I have any in the shop like this. I will put some, but they're so good for cables. If you have to do a cable of two stitches, or 3 or 4, you could probably even get on here. You just hook it on there, close it, and then you can put it in front or behind. And I have been using these two little stitch markers, one with fluorite and garnet, and the other with, good question, I don't remember. I made this one years ago. This one I probably made for like the TTT Advent a million years ago. But yeah, so those two cables, needles, stitch markers have been helping me do all the cables on this glorious shawl. It looks so much harder than it actually is. Like, you have to cross the cables, and so it's like double brioche. So you're doing the brioche, but you're doing it with 2 stitches. It's very interesting, but once you get the hang of it, it's fine. It's very repetitive. This is the back side, so you can kind of see like what the brioche looks like on the back. Sorry, you see the shadow of the olive tree, but honestly I think it's artistic, so we're leaving it. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. But yes, this is, if I go over here you can see better, this is the back side and this is the front. I have it on a fideuà from the last edition of Save the Sheep. Our kits came with fideuàs. So not only do I have 11 kits left, but I also have a bunch of fideuà. So let me know if you want some fideuà. Do you know what fideuà is? I call it fideuà because fideo is like spaghetti pasta in Spain with the hole in it. And so this is like plastic that you stick the end of your needle in, and then you pull it through, and you can put your stitches on hold. So I did that because they were all bunched up on my cable of my needle, and I didn't see what I was doing. And it is such an intuitive, repetitive pattern, really, that I accidentally, rather than just doing one of these rhomboses here, I did 2. Here was supposed to be 2, here was supposed to be 1, here was supposed to be 2, here was supposed to be 1 of these gray things. See how there's 2? Well, I was just about to start the next section of the pattern, and I was like, I have way too many stitches. What is going on here? I was like, let me take it off the needles and actually look at it. And when I looked at it, I was like, oh no, oh no. So my question is, what do I do now? Probably by the time you leave me a comment and an answer, I will have done something. But let me know what you think. Should I rip back to like here, which is a lot of knitting, and then try and pick up all these crazy cable brioche ridiculousnesses? Or should I keep going and now just have to basically invent the pattern myself? The problem is me. I followed, like, it's not the designer's fault, it's my fault. I didn't follow the pattern correctly. It tells you how many repetitions, but I was like, oh, well, I could just see, I just do it, but I didn't do it correctly. Isn't it gorgeous? I'm not sure if I will over dye this at some point. This is yak from the Plymouth Yarn Company, and this dye for you yak, and I did not dye the yak. This is just the natural gray color. And then this is the Merino del Sol yarn, which I had left over from my amazing workshop at Cleo's. If any of you were there, thank you for coming to my workshops at Cleo's. I love doing workshops in New York, so fun. And we got this beautiful squishy yarn. Have you done anything with yours? We did our solar dyeing in New York this summer. Oh my gosh, on the summer were we there on the summer solstice? I have a terrible memory. Yeah, it was a solstice party. Crazy. But yeah, so I dyed this with nettle, and that's why it's like this yellowy color. And I am gradually dyeing it more and more. So here actually you can see that it's getting darker and darker. I'm like, every once in a while I like dye the remaining yarn. So the idea is that it would start off light and towards the end it would be like a more darker yellow. And then I don't know if these colors suit me, so I'm still on the hunt. I don't know, am I a spring? Am I a summer? Am I a winter? What season am I in the color thing? So yeah, I might over dye this one day, but for now, this is the way it is. Isn't it beautiful? What do? Do I keep going? Do I invent it? Now I have to figure it out. Oh my God, so complicated. But it's so squishy. Brioche is squishy to begin with, and then it's like brioche double cable things. What? And this yarn is gorgeous. Plymouth Yarn Company. Highly recommend. Highly recommend this yarn. Look at it. I don't know where the camera is. This is the Merino del Sol. And this is the yak. You can see that the yak is a little bit thinner. Wah, wah. There's my turtle ring. I don't know. Okay, is it focusing? Anyway. Okay, more things. Ciao.
Chal Cordoba.
Woo!
Este chal con forma de guillotín.
El cuerpo entero.
Pero tú
Hello. Another day, another landscape. So we're up here on top of the hill. There is a beautiful breeze, so I hope that it is not disturbing with the sound. But I don't know, I just got to the top here and I was like, oh, look at this. It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So I wanted to speak from here. I hope that's okay. And I hope that like I'm using a sock and an olive tree as a tripod as usual. And so hopefully I have the sock like kind of in front of the speaker to do a wind blocking. We'll see. So I wanted to show you my acquisitions from Creativamente Cordoba. How sweet were the organizers. They even made me a little keychain, which I have it on the bag still, but I'm going to put it on my keys. Isn't that adorable? With the bag, and it is recycled cotton. Highly love it. Highly love it. Yeah, the festival was really cool here in Cordoba, outside, a little bit outside of the city, like in the northern part of the city. And so many people came. It was really beautiful. Great weekend. So many vendors, so many things. Now I'm remembering that I forgot my buttons from Marta. I saw a lot of friends and got like merch and things from them. For example, the ladies from Equipo K, you might have met them because some of these podcasters, they have a podcast. This is a K, and this is like a crochet hook and a knitted stitch. And they have a podcast in Spanish, which is really cool. And they travel around a lot. They do a lot of going to different places for knitting festivals and all that. And just recently, I think only 3 of them, maybe 4, went to New York to go to Rhinebeck, to the knitting festival in New York. And I think that's amazing. But they gave me their bag with their logo, which is really cool. And in here, I've got some yarn. I've got some more yarn. All right, you want to see? Okay, so first of all, I'm going to show you yarn that I bought for my mama to make her a shawl. So I have a really cool crochet pattern that was gifted to me, and I want to use it to learn how to read crochet patterns. And obviously I needed to buy 2 beautiful skeins to be able to knit something, crochet something for my mama. But then I found a knit pattern of mosaic knitting that I also love. I kind of want to do both of them. We'll see. But this is the yarn. Oh, isn't it beautiful? It actually matches with the earrings that I'm wearing, which were my mama's, and I stole them from her. So I need to make her a beautiful something with these. And this is from none only but Robledal de la Santa. These are lovely friends who have an Angora sheep farm, and they dye their own wool and everything. This is actually 100% mulberry silk because my mom deserves mulberry silk. And I just thought the colors were gorgeous. Whenever I go to a knitting festival, I have a hard time buying colors and things that I can dye myself. So I tend to look for like blues and like teals because indigo is difficult and I have not mastered indigo. So I can normally dye colors like this, reds and pinks and purples and more of those colors. But anything that contains blue, like green, is difficult in natural dyes. So I saw this and I was like, this is so my mom. Love this. And then this one, it's called Fawn. This one's called Spring Brat, which I thought was cute. Because my mom's an Aries. She's not a brat, but she's an Aries. And Fawn, but she's an Aries. No, she's wonderful. Hi Mom, are you watching this? If anything, I'm a brat, not my mom. She's the sweetest sweetheart ever. And then Fawn, which is like a deer, and I liked that as well, and I want to make her something, and I'm really excited. Isn't it beautiful? Oh my god, so beautiful. They also gave me another skein of British wool, which I didn't bring up with me, but it's gorgeous. You'll see when I make something with it. What else do I have? So many things. Okay, then basically I bought for gift knitting because I want to make things for the people that I love. Then I got yarn at La Caserita, who is a friend, and she has beautiful yarn from Bolivia. Also, going back to my first episode, you will know that my partner's family is from La Paz, half of them at least, and I love Bolivia. I love salteñas. I want to go there. I have never been. I will go one day. And our friend has a shop in Malaga, La Caserita, and she has Bolivian alpaca wool here. And of course, I was looking for wool to make a sweater for my partner, and he only, not that he only likes, but he prefers like bright primary colors. And surprisingly, I don't know, in the knitting festival, like I could only find like colors of nature. Like everything was like landscape colors. I don't know, I think even if you go to like the shops nowadays, if you go to H&M, Zara, like most people dress in very toned down shades, like natural dyes, which honestly I gravitate to as well. But because of him, sometimes I like brighter colors and I want to embrace them. But I want to make a sweater for him, which I can wear as well. And it was Bolivian yarn, and they were like the only stand in the fair that had bright colors, so I got him. I have more of them at home, but I only brought up 2. Little fuzzies already on there. Oh my gosh. So this is La Caserita. Aren't they beautiful? So I'm gonna make this striped sweater that I will post here. Very cool. I already have the pattern. I'm gonna start. I don't know. I have so many things to knit, so many things. Oh, whenever it starts getting cold, this happens. Does this happen to you guys? I get so excited about the knitting and everything. So this is from Bolivia, and it's actually from La Paz, or at least that's where it's distributed, in La Paz, Bolivia. It has 366 meters because this wool doesn't actually say how many meters, but I did write it down. How smart am I? 100 grams. So it's about a sport weight. I've heard it blooms very well, and it's going to be a really cool striped sweater. Also, I've been told that these are Barça colors. We are Sevilla Football Club forever, but honestly, if I have to choose, I would also choose Barça because I like Barça as well. So when I'm not supporting Sevilla, it's Barça. But we love Sevilla and we love Almeida, and this is going to be our year. So I really should just do this with white, but I thought this was fun. So that's where we're going with that. What else do I have? Oh my god. Should I stop the video? No. We'll continue. We continue. I show you all the things. Oh my gosh. I had to put it in a Ziploc bag because oh my god, but this Ziploc bag is actually broken. The reason I put it in here is because the smell of this wool is like moth attractor 100%. Moths love the smell of sheep. And this smells like a freaking, my friends were like, it smells like a sheep's butt. It smells like a farm. Oh my God. It's so sheepy and so woolly. I love it. Oh, hello, little fly. Speaking of flying insects, oh my gosh. I'm realizing now that there's a little piece. If I like watch a video on my phone, I like prop up my phone to watch a podcast or something, I'll like cover over the camera because I get paranoid that someone's watching me. So I had like a little piece of wax on my phone, but it's okay. Anyway, de esa. This is a project that works with sustainable wool from local autochthonous merino sheep from Extremadura. This is actually from Cáceres. And the ladies who run this are amazing. And this chocolate natural brown color is just beautiful. I'm going to mix it with some other projects. I only got one just because I needed to bring this sheepy smell home with me. It is 100 grams, 250 meters approx. So it's like between DK and Sport. And actually the British wool that I have from Robledal is like a teal color, and I think it would be really beautiful with this. I don't know what I'm going to make with it. I bought this to go with the buttons I got from Marta, which I didn't bring, but I will insert a photo here. And the buttons are so cool, and the yellow with the brown, but I don't know. Right now the buttons are hanging on the wall with a little clip just as decoration on my wall so that I can look at them, and they make me happy with their little hoopoo bird logo and everything. I don't know what I'll do with them because honestly I don't normally make things that have buttons, so I don't know what I'll do with them, but something will be made with them. But if not, I'll just look at them for now. They're beautiful. Actually, I'm wearing the top that Marta had knit for me many moons ago. It's like a summer top, but you can layer summer tops because I was walking up here without even the jacket on because it is sunny and warm, and when you're climbing up a hill you don't need that many layers of wool. But look at the sky. Oh my gosh, there's lines all in the sky. Anyway, our smelly woolly deliciousness. Okay, now I think I'm gonna stop the video for a second because I don't know, this is my brother gave me his old phone, so now I have a new phone. It's his old phone, and I'm not sure how long the videos can be when I put them on the computer. So we stop. I'll be right back. Okay, now I'm here with my shawl on, although it is quite warm and I don't need a shawl, so I'm just showing you what it looks like on, although you can wear it a million different ways, but it's so snuggly and so delicious. This is the Save the Sheep Advent yarn from Antonio. I probably mentioned this in a previous episode, but this is a great shawl. I love it. I think it's beautiful, and I think it's so funny because Antonio totally came up with this idea because it represents the way that the Mallorca sheep are shorn. Sorry, I'm getting a message from my dad. It represents the way that the Mallorca sheep were shorn, and now Stephen West is doing this in all of his knit-alongs, and I'm just like, Antonio had the idea first. Anyway, because this is from the mystery knit-along from 2023. So yeah, you've definitely seen this in a podcast with the short rows like the sea. This is called Mare Nostrum, and it's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. I love it. So that is that shawl. I wore it when I left my house today because it's like cool in the center of the city, like cold-ish. But then when you get up in the sun and walking up the hill, it's perfect. And I wanted to show you the third transformation of my sweater. Do you guys remember this sweater? Oh my God, this is like one of my well, it's really the only like nice cardigan that I've ever knit. I knit it in superwash yarn, which one day I will knit it again and knit it in like a rustic yarn so it keeps its shape, because it's very floppy, very saggy. It's very heavy because it's superwash yarn. And it's got like all these cables and it's very interesting. This is the Noki cardigan. Highly recommend the pattern. It's a lot easier than you would think it is. But I would do it in a rustic yarn for sure. I was thinking in Sopravissana yarn, that yarn I have at my house. If anyone wants to knit it in that yarn, let me know. But I haven't. Look, it has this like cool cable here. I haven't reknit it because I just keep re-dyeing it. So it's always a new sweater and it's really fun to over dye. So it started a very pale lila. I want to say lila in Spanish, like a periwinkle, bluish, purpley, light color, like the color of the sky. And then I over dyed it with pomegranate skins, I believe. Pomegranate skins, so it made it this like olivey green, like between the color of this and this. Maybe I'll insert a photo here because I found one on my phone from an old picture. Boop. And just recently I was like, I'm gonna see what happens if I put it in a bath of logwood with chamomile. And it took all of the dye. It absorbed everything, and now it's this beautiful like navy blue color. In some lighting it looks blackish, but it's gorgeous. I love it. So that's cool. And one more thing which I'm going to dye, and I'm going to show you now. This is a hat I started many moons ago. And this is the yarn that I had the Gloam cardigan in the previous clip. So the Gloam cardigan in the previous clip that I showed you is now like purple, like grape purple, was this exact yarn. Because my friend who had knit that Gloam cardigan, not only did she give me the cardigan, but she also gave me the extra yarn. So I decided to make a hat. I just invented the top part. Not really a fan of this square-ish top. I don't know, hats never work for me. But I saw my little brother in a hat and he looked so cute, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna finish that hat that I have been knitting on for a year and finish it, and then I will send it to him. Obviously I'm gonna dye it because this color doesn't suit him that well, but I think I might over dye it with like logwood, and we'll see what happens, and get like a dark gray blue color. So what I did was twisted rib. But when I do twisted rib, I like twisted rib on my ribbing because it's like tighter. But whenever I do that, I only twist the knits and I purl the pearls normally. So you can see that these are like normal knit stitches and these are twisted on this side. But unfortunately it's a rolled hat. I mean, I guess you could wear it inside out and then roll it up so that yeah, you definitely could. Let's try it on like that. So yeah, the idea is to roll it. Oh, that could work. No, I don't think I like that. Yeah, and then so when I got to where I wanted to start decreasing, I decreased every other round and I divided the stitches into 4. My dad's still talking to me. I have to call him as soon as I finish this. He's talking about videos that he sent me that we were sending each other. But yeah, so I divided into 4 sections and then decrease on both sides of the stitch marker, like knit 1, slip, slip, knit, and then when I got back to the other side, it was knit 2 together. So I just did that until I got to like maybe 10 stitches, and I just cinched it all in. And this is how the hat fits. I mean, you could roll it like a bunch of times, but it's like, it could be a little bit slouchy. But the thing is that if it's slouchy, it looks a little bit square. I don't know. And I honestly think it's a little bit too big. I don't know. I I don't know. I haven't blocked it yet. That's the thing. So I think it's going to grow because superwash, we know it grows. You can like put this like that. I mean, you can make it like tight on your head, like rolling. You can probably roll it even again and make it like those hipster hats that people wear nowadays that are like on the back of your head. I mean, it's kind of cute like that too. Now, like this, to keep your ears warm. That is the hat. Do we like it? Yes. Okay, so we're gonna dye it. You wanna see it dyed? Ready, set. Ta-da! So here we are inside a new olive tree, and I'm just looking at these olives, which are like black olives, and they are about the color of the hat. So I'm very happy with the natural dye of it. I wonder if you can see it in another light, but it got very dark. So this is the hat that I was just showing you, and with the magic of time and editing, I was able to dye the hat and then bring it back to the mountain to show you. So I love it. I mean, it is a little bit big, I think, after, well, actually it's kind of perfect. Very pleased. Let me see if I go like this and I can show you. Oh yes, that, I mean, it's very sunny, but you can see that at first it wasn't like completely solid, the color. I had to put it back into the dye pot. But I'm very happy. All right, so that is all for today. I'm going to leave you now with the plants, and you know what? We're gonna go back to nettles because nettles are so important, and I'm gonna really do some time traveling. We're gonna go back to like the first episode's videos and then add a little extra. Ooh, story time? I can add a story at the end of this, maybe, possibly. Or we might save that for another episode. All right, thanks so much. Love you all. Ciao, ciao. Hello. I'm sorry, but cloud seeding. What is this? What is happening here? Well, I wanted to come just to introduce the section about the plants and to tell you about a beautiful documentary that I have recently seen called The Nettle Dress. It is a film that was filmed over the course of 7 years, following a man and his life story as he collected nettles as he went out on his walks with his dog up in England in the UK. Collected nettles, processed them, spun them, and then wove them into a fabric, which he then sewed into a dress. And in the film you see his daughter modeling this dress, and it is a beautiful story. The way that he talks about weaving story and your life into these things that we make with our hands was really beautiful. And obviously in 7 years a lot of things can happen, and actually this isn't a spoiler or anything, but his wife passes away, and so it's also about how he processes the grief and the loss of that through this work. And it's really beautiful, and it's really beautiful about the nettles, and it's just wonderful to see how he uses his hands and works through all of that and creates something tangible at the end, which can wrap you and hold you just as we knitters do with our creations. So I recommend that. It's called The Nettle Dress. And now we are going to go back and listen to the story of the nettles that I shared with you all in my first episode, because I think nettles are so exciting and so wonderful. And lately I have been looking into nettles more because I will be participating in an herbal conference in May 2026 about nettles. And so I was looking for like old stuff that I had spoken about nettles, and just nettles, and why not? Because nettles are amazing. So I highly recommend that documentary. And I wanted to mention once again, I probably mentioned it here years ago, or at least a couple of years ago. The documentary, it's a short little film that my friend Amalia made for her end of year project here in Granada, and it's all about knitters. It's in Spanish, but it's a beautiful little film, and I'm in it. And when I was in Cordoba, many people mentioned, like, came up to me and was like, hey, I saw you in that documentary. Like, Marianella's in it, a lot of people are in it. But it is really sweet, and it's only like 15 minutes, and it's also like the story of like weaving things together, weaving the story together, weaving the film together, weaving the fiber together, weaving the community together. So there you have it. And now on to the nettles. Ciao. So what can I say about nettles? I think that nettles are like one of the most amazing plants on this planet. It is such a nutrient dense, rich, amazing, multi-purpose, prolific plant that grows all around the world, and it's just so lush and amazing. And yes, maybe you'll say, hey, nettles can sting you, and that's, yes, okay, nettles can sting you, but if you ever get stung by a nettle, I'm sure that in the same little area that the nettles are growing, there will be a plantain plant. And if you just like squish that up, chew it up really, and put that on your sting, you'll be fine. Okay? So, no problem if you get stung by nettles. Actually, people use nettles if they're having like lower back pain or like arthritis pain. People actually will, I think it's called urtication or something, and they like hit themselves with the nettle, and that will like stimulate the movement of blood and just like bring movement to that area, and it alleviates pain. Nettles are amazing for eating. You can make nettle stew. You can make nettle pesto, which is absolutely delicious. The same way you would make basil pesto, you can make nettle pesto, and that's really delicious. It has so many nutrients, minerals, vitamins, vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin K, various vitamin Bs, minerals like calcium, iron, magnesium, phosphorus, potassium, sodium, all of these amino acids that are like essential to your body functioning well, folic acid. It's amazing. It is really, really rich in protein. I think it's one of the most like rich plants in protein, so you can get like lots of grams of protein if you drink a nettle infusion, for example, or make some nettle soup. It's anti-inflammatory. It's like really good for people who have allergies. Like it's good for people who have like these histamine reactions, and nettle also works with your adrenals. So if you're having like fatigue or you're just feeling tired, it's not something that you're gonna drink nettle infusion and like stay up all night. It's not like coffee, but I think that over a long period of time, drinking nettles will give you like this deep sense of energy. Yeah, nettles, I drink nettles in like a rotation of infusions that I drink every week. I go through different herbs and plants, so I can talk about all of them, don't worry. But nettles, once a week, I would say, normally on Tuesdays, because nettles has an affinity for the planet Mars, which, you know, is Tuesday, in Spanish, martes, Mars. But that's just something crazy that in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm going to drink it on Tuesdays. It is a little bit drying because it's diuretic. So if you're having water retention issues, it's a great ally. But yeah, so I wouldn't drink it every single day if you tend to be drier, but once a week is absolutely fine
what I do is I take 30 grams of dried nettles, more or less. I mean, it's about like a cup or a half a cup. It's about a cup. And put it with a liter of boiled water, and then I let it infuse overnight, or at least 4 hours if I do it in the morning, but overnight, and you will get this like dark, rich, like full of chlorophyll, delicious drink, and I love to drink it over ice. It is so good. It's really good. It tastes like, my friend said, it tastes like a field, and it does. It's just so good. But it doesn't have a strong taste. I would not add sugar or honey to it. It's not something that you want to make sweet. If anything, it's salty, and I've heard people heating it up and putting like miso in it. I've never done that, but that could be an option. It's really good for your garden. It's like you can use it as a fertilizer if you just like I typically just take the spent nettle, like the nettle after I've infused it and filtered it, and I will like put that in the garden, or I bring it out to the countryside when I go out, and yeah. So also, you can dye with it. It's a natural dye. You can get like a really beautiful green color with the nettle. And you can make fiber with it. That's another thing that's amazing. Nettle is just so great. I love nettle. There's a little bee right here interested in my foot, which is interesting because nettle has the same acid in the stingers of the nettle. They're like little needles, like injection needles, and in there is, I'm not sure of the name, but it's this acid which is very similar, or I think it might even be the same chemical constituents as what bees have. So, but don't worry, when you cook nettles, when you dry nettles, you're not going to have the stingers. Even when you make pesto out of it, you're not going to sting yourself, so it's fine. So, I highly recommend nettles. I love them, and I hope that you can get to know your local nettle, because there's nettle all over. All right, so that was it. I hope you have a good day. Ciao.